if you could buy or some available.
I think, at least for me right now, I think best to keep pace with her.
Yeah.
Stay on the same level, so to say. Look into those in the future. I feel like it'd be kind of a little awkward if we're like just like riding on horses like all around her while she's just kind of walking. I feel like that might be an awkward situation.
I mean, you never know. She might just, take the hit and choose to ride one of her companions. Or maybe she says, or maybe she'll get her own horse. Who knows? It's you. You can certainly find out.
I'm good. You guys want horses?
Can we keep up with her without them? Or are we gonna end up taking
She's going. Oh no, she's currently looks like she's walking herself, so it'll be more or less of a hike.
Okay, then we'll just walk with her.
Yeah.
From the sounds of it, like she's pretty close to the meeting place. Doesn't sound like that's at least my assumption.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, her place. She's already let you guys know it's only a day's walk. So it's nothing. It's not like it's going to take you guys days to get there. Not like you guys, the other ones, other tribe leaders who will have to be packing for a few days to get back home. Yours is actually one of the closest.
We should keep our head on a swivel, of course, but
Of course.
I think they'll probably wait for us to make a stop somewhere before they probably ambush us. I assume. Still keep an eye out, of course.
So you're not entirely sure when or how they're going to do it. You just know it's gonna happen. Whether it's gonna be before you get there, when you get there, when you're doing the thing, after you finish the thing. There's no concrete of exactly when, just that it's gonna happen.
Listen, as long as they don't use the pufferfish ice dart, we should at least have some sort of warning.
Probably.
Hopefully.
Alright,
Please
so
do
you're
keep an eye
traveling on foot?
Yep.
Excellent. Okay, you guys can give me the marching order. Who's going who? Matt is willing to, go at the pace you guys seem to set if you guys want to get there quickly or not. But she's more or less letting you know the way to the village. It's just a straight shot, essentially a bit to the double check actual map so I don't mess this up. I have before. Yeah, so it's actually map-wise, it'd be west, heading closer towards the front lines, and the settlement of Hickman. So you can either go through you guys can either take the northern path through the Rocky Mountains, or you can go down the pass following a river, which will actually take you back towards the Rocky Steps, your hometown. Because you need to pass either way, or you have to pass before you can get towards her neck of the woods, which is technically called the Ancient Woods.
I mean...
On the Shawnee. Yeah, so we can go, you can essentially double back towards Shoney's village, which you'll have to pass, and then continue west, or you can go through the Rocky Mountains, which will essentially a straighter shot, but a little bit more terrain, because you won't be passing through any real villages.
Well, I suppose we should follow Mav, but a straight shot sounds like a good idea. I mean,
Yeah, I
if
think
we're
we're
in
trying to-
war, time sensitive travel.
And I don't know where they're at in their, in their preparations or where they are on the island, but giving them the least amount of time to prepare would probably be best as well. Just kind of... I agree. Let's just take the straight shot, I think.
Alright, so the straight shot through the Rocky Mountains.
Yep.
I'll take you through the, what some of the merchants call the South Road for some reason, but it will take you also through a Dina mining camp. Alright, what's the marching order?
How wide is this road? 2x2? 3x3? How many people can fit side
it's
by
an
side?
open forest path. It's not a fixed road. It's more a trail, so you can as many as you'd like really with this one, because it's not as thick and compact a forest. It's a bit more open with a few trees sparse here and there. So you could all go, side by side if you want, or just a few people, some in the front, some in the back. This is really up to you guys.
Obviously, Caitlin's in front.
But is that such a good idea? But she does know some of these. She is a
I'll say-
native. But...
That was so
I'll say
fast.
side
Both
by
of you
side
jumped
with
on that.
her If you want to, like, I mean, if you want, you can go next to Caitlin.
I can, and then you walk behind us to keep an
Oh.
eye on her from behind, and I'll keep an eye on her at her level.
I was thinking side by side with Mev.
Okay,
And
yeah,
have
that
the
too.
guards, because we do have those guards, and then the beasts. Maybe one in the front, one in the back of the beasts.
Yeah.
Except Caitlin's gonna try and run up in front of the beast, isn't she?
Caitlin does like the beast. I don't know if she's gonna run up in front, but she is gonna kind of quicken her steps so that she's walking next to the beast.
Okay.
I'll stay next to Mev. Keep an eye on her.
All right. Keep an eye on her or on the surroundings.
Surroundings, but trying to keep her in peripheral vision.
All right. And Shoni, you said you were.
I think we're all walking sort of in a bunch, but like next to Mav, next to Kaylin.
All right, so we'll just stay more or less in just a group. So
Yeah.
less marching order and more just a huddle.
Yep.
Mobile huddle.
Yes.
Yeah. Basically.
All right. Now, if she sees you doing that, she does discreetly tell her creatures to take formation. So one does start walking up front, and the other one starts heading back to see, essentially guard your flank. Everybody give me perception checks, and I'll roll a few for Mav and creatures. You guys start your journey.
Ooh, that's a 1.
11.
Well, that's quite the range.
Okay, so so I didn't mishear it. You said an 11 and a 1 and a what?
7.
27. No,
Yes.
that's one of you.
I have expertise in perception.
Hey,
Thank
me
you.
too. So technically mine's an 8.
Keep
I
forgetting.
mean, you're not wrong.
I forgot that this was the party that was good at perception, and it feels nice to have someone who does that. That was awful. And that is awful as well. Oh god, these animals are just way too relaxed in this. It was a 4 and a 9. Come on, dudes. You'll
It's
put
just
on the-
giving them the good scritches under the ears.
I think
And they're
one of
just
them, yeah.
so
The
distracted.
one that fell back is doing okayish because he got like a 14. But yeah, no, the one up front who hit in there is actually just still getting scratched by. Okay then. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. And last but not least, yeah, that makes. Yeah, okay. So some solid perceptions on that one. So Leah and actually, yeah, only you two are the only ones who actually see this.
One of the creatures?
Leah, no, just Leah and Mev. The creatures did not see this, nor did the other two companions. Only you and Mev are the ones who notice that as you guys have started to walk forward, about an hour into your journey, you start noticing a few tracks along your path.
Can we tell what type of tracks these are?
If you would like to roll me a survival check, or if you'd like to tell any of your companions about them as well, as Mav will be rolling her own survival check with advantage because it's one of her things.
Leah
yeah,
will look
that's
to her to see whether she wants to stop the group to examine this, or whether we want to act like we're not observing. I did roll, and I got a. I can do the math. 18.
18,
Oh, plus
very
6.
good. Very good. Yeah. You know, she does tell you that this will be. Now, she does actually snap her fingers, and her two companions do come back and walk, and they do start sniffing around the area. And at that point, two of you do notice, Kaylin and Nishoni, the tracks that Mav and Yep, I got the wrong one. There it is. That's the guy. I'm gonna get this down one of these days. But yeah. So well yeah, you said you got the 18?
I got 18 on the survival check.
Good. Yeah, no, not a creature you've seen before, but something that leaves an eerily similar imprint, just a lot larger from the two companions that she's got there, and it seems to have like a bit of moss on the each of the footprints. They're large. You can tell from like just look at it, bipedal, but there seem to be two different sets. So these are likely two large bipedal creatures that have large, similar footprints to the creatures who are following you, though these creatures are on all fours.
She will point that out to the others.
And luckily with Meg's roll, she's able to tell you that these are roughly no more than 2 hours old, so whatever this was that passed through here. Not entirely sure what it is yet, but she didn't roll high enough to guess exactly what it was, but she does know this green moss that grows on this stuff is from very dangerous type of plant that is found to the upper west of the ancient forest.
Now that we've seen the tracks, do we know what made them?
Yes.
Or
you can roll a survival check as well to see if you might know what made them.
Yeah, would
we
share
were
what she
back-to-back
knows.
ones. I have no idea.
Oh,
sorry.
goodness, you're due
Oh, no.
for some luck sometime. That's how that works, right?
Anything?
Can we tell from these tracks, like what direction they're going? Like, is it just like parallel to this road? Or are they following the
It's
direction that
following
we're
your
heading?
direction. It's following the direction that you're headed, but it came from a different angle. So whatever these things were have joined this path, but you're not. You'll continue to follow it to see if they continue on this path or if they'll stray off of it at some point. But for the most part, they followed this path, but they're at least 2 hours old by what Mav has told.
What direction are the tracks coming from when they're approaching the road? And is it the Bridge Alliance?
It is not. You're headed towards the Bridge Alliance, heading west from the meeting point of the village. These creatures came from the what more or less would be the the southeast, going up, almost like if they were heading towards the west, but veering slightly north. You're not sure if they're going to continue on the path that you're taking, to the side of the mountain steps, or if they're going to continue further north at some point, or possibly south again. But you are aware that these are large bipedal creatures, bigger prints than the two companions that Mev has got, and then they have this odd green kind of moss that seems to be mingled in the footprints, and Mav was able to tell that this moss is only native to the northern west part of the ancient forest, where it slowly becomes a large, almost kind of swamp. And she basically lets you guys know this is very bad news, and these creatures, we need to be careful in case we do run into these creatures. But, right, Ms. Shoni, I'm sorry, did you roll survival to see if you got anything?
No, I didn't hear that, but I'll go ahead and roll. Oh, gosh. Not a good roll. That's an 8 total. Crystal, I'm using these fancy dice that you got me, and they're not doing too hot right now.
You know what? It
Send
might
some
just
good
be a me
vibes.
thing today, because
Oh,
my
boy.
dice are not
Yeah.
liking me today either.
That's Snake Eyes on a D20, and that's not great.
Nope.
Man,
Oh,
rolling
boy.
2 natural ones on a D20. What are the odds?
Oof. That's a way to start the day, huh? Oof.
Well, that's the
Well,
thing about
yeah.
rock. The only way to go is up.
See, you say that, but
You
You
can always
never
just stick
know.
rock bottom.
no, because like rock bottom's like, I don't know. I could always start digging. I got a pitch, I got a pickaxe, and a shovel. So don't tempt me.
Unless you have like a negative modifier, how do you get lower than a 1? Does Caitlin have any negatives?
No. Bard, thankfully.
Okay, so
Oh.
shouldn't have to worry about that.
Definitely
Hopefully.
changed. Okay,
Hopefully.
what do you guys do with the information that you've got currently?
Well, be vigilant.
That's
Do the,
good, that's hard. Don't underestimate that.
Do the creatures pick up on any scent or anything?
I've never tracked them down, and they do in fact pick up on something. They're currently conversing with their partner about, well, what they do, and let's see how well they communicate. Oof, that's actually enough for her to do it, yeah. And, yeah, quick wisdom or intelligence check, whichever you guys prefer, as you do see Mav begin to cast a type of spell. I think one of you guys may have noticed or seen this one before. If you want to know what the spell is.
Guys, it's better. That was a 2.
Hey!
No. Oh no.
I'm so sorry, Crystal. I don't know how I'm not meaning to absorb your luck because I just rolled a natural 20.
I've got 15.
That's
swear.
better. I'm
A
a little
natural
worried
20 though,
for,
that's
like,
great.
I'm a little worried for
aren't I?
like Wednesday's game because that's we're using a lot of luck here right now.
No, we're not.
We're about to go into like the Goblin
I'm
Village.
building it up, baby.
Well, no, you are, and I imagine that like when you have to do your conversations and your roles and stuff, you'll be fine. The rest of us is, I don't know. I don't know.
Worst case, a separate thing. I hope the luck thing is not transferable between those two campaigns. It's a separate enough entity, please. Because otherwise,
I want to hope, but I don't trust it. You've seen how bad we can roll sometimes.
yeah, no, that we just roll terribly sometimes.
And then sometimes we get like nat 20s for no reason, so God, it's almost like it's chance.
Yeah.
Okay.
That also has the karmic dice.
Right. Okay, sorry I spaced that again. But yeah, no. Nishoni, you're able to recognize what this is. Aiden, I'm sorry. You're still distracted by something else.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And yeah, you're also able to recognize this. You've seen your two friends cast it before. This is Speak with Animals.
That, that makes sense.
That's a double 12. That'll do it. So with that, you can see her having this conversation with them, and she does look a bit more serious now that she lets them know. And when they do finish this little like back and forth, as the two go back, and they seem to be much more on alert and like heads on a swivel. The two companions, as Mev approaches you guys and lets you know. After conferring with my companions, they have informed me of this. Now, how familiar are you with the bogs past the ancient of the island? He's looking more towards Nishoni and Kaylin more than Leah, but still asking all three of you.
How familiar am I with these? That.
History check if you'd like.
Okay.
Or
I assume Leah probably knows Jack.
Woo, 17! Finally something I
Oh,
rolled
good job. I got a 10 on that history.
And Lena, you rolled poorly, I assumed, or not great?
I assume she rolls poorly. Would she know anything about that? Should I roll? Maybe I roll a disadvantage?
No, this one would be a straight roll for this. This is information that's not necessarily hidden. It's just, who knows if you
maybe heard rumors, sort of thing.
Yeah, you might have maybe heard some rumors. Maybe you found a person who specifically tried to go there and came back and said, "You know what? This is what I found out."
Well, that is 3 + 1, so 4.
You think you might have heard some drunken person talk about it once, but they were slurring a lot and swearing a lot. And it might have just been someone else. It might have been a band they were talking about, not a place. You don't know.
That here, or was that on the old continent?
Maybe. Aiden, you do in fact know and have heard the unfortunate, almost fireside stories that essentially tell of the swamp and its many dangers. And one of them is a very dangerous type of fungus that grows around that swamp area, that just as the trees begin to move into the swamp marshland, that seem to have an almost necrotic and parasitic quality, as any creature, as nature does have its own conflict within itself. Anything that is killed there and not completely devoured will be reanimated by this moss and continue on as if still alive but changed. This moss is often known to, if the body is not fully intact, will stitch together other pieces of other creatures that when they find themselves, this moss seems to work as almost a hive mind of sorts. You've heard odd stories of creatures coming into contact with each other that aren't normally, or that are normally hostile to each other, but with very visible green moss that grows all throughout the body will either not bother each other or oftentimes try and work together. They're very eerie stories. You've never seen it yourself. You decided maybe that's not a place to go to. It seems to be not a fun place at all.
Yeah, I think Caitlin would respond back with something like, "Oh, you mean the creepy moss thing?"
Yeah. Oh, last thing you know, this stuff is infectious, but it only becomes parasitic if it takes hold of something that's already dead. If it's not dead, it's just acts almost like a normal poison, except you gotta really scrub it off or burn it off, one of the two.
It's not like a bite of this will actively kill you unless you die from the poison.
Something's actually got to kill you for this thing to be able to do its thing. If it gets on you, it's going to be like really bad poison ivy. It's going to hurt, and it'll suck unless you get some treatment right away, but it's not going to be what kills you. If something else kills you, and this stuff gets on you, that's a different, that's something else.
Is this where you decided to make your home? This creepy swamp?
No.
No? Okay.
No. Nothing there can really coexist with, and she points down at the moss that, now that you look at it, occasionally, the parts where it's thickest actually moves a little.
Ooh.
Like gelatin that's just been hit, it slightly jiggles.
What? It seems like it stays in the swamp. It seems like this is an exception. Is it known what keeps this moss from spreading outward?
Supposedly, it can only spread where life is not. And for most of Tifferdy, life is abundant. But there are places that it has been, for the more, has been smothered completely, and that is where these such things take. But more than most, it can be easily dealt with a bit of fire, proper water. It's easily taken. It can only take hold in that which has no life.
No.
Now, that which has no life that once did, it can't do anything to that which was never alive. So it's not gonna zombify a rock.
Interesting that it's come this far then. I guess, is there any methods you suggest?
Because it came this far because something brought it here. Likely one of the creatures that was infected by this, likely one of the dead ones, but...
Or died?
Died, but I'm not entirely sure what it's doing this far out. They never venture too far past it because, well, they're easier to take out that most remain at the swamp because that's where the numbers are concentrated. And if they venture too far out, it's too easy to end. They have a weakness to fire. It's usually what's used to stop them. They usually are more... They're not completely without... They're aware enough to know that it tends to we tend to kill what wanders out too far, and they're aware of it. So I'm not entirely sure what would have brought one this far out. So far out that it's making a journey back.
It was brought out, maybe in hopes that it might find and destroy someone. I don't know for sure or anything, but
I've never known it to target anyone in specific. Only it's the base core only looking to continue to reproduce and sustain itself, and anything living is a possible receptacle for that, but nothing that far out. Anything that they do, anything they're able to capture and kill, they bring to their swamp to join them in whatever becomes of them when they are absorbed by this moss that grows on them.
well,
Not sure why
it seems like the best plan would be to step lightly and see if we can make our way to your home in one piece.
Indeed. This is something I need to report to Fielders and have them investigate. It is odd behavior. And odder location still. Not something we need to really be too worried about. And she looks down at the flaming weapon you have. You have one of the more suitable weapons for this in case we do run across one of them. And it's nothing too difficult to handle, just an oddity to have to deal with this far out of the normal territory.
Really seems a useful tool, particularly with something of this sort.
Indeed.
So, we'll definitely keep it at my side.
Anyway, let's
Shall we
continue on.
Continue? Yes.
Right. Same pace. I don't think we need to slow ourselves because of this. Let's continue.
Alright.
Alright, and you guys go onward.
Yes.
Someone else wants to go
Onward.
quick.
Suggestions?
I'll make a quick D100.
Who wants to roll?
You want to roll it?
I mean, you're the one who's had the most luck so far.
Yeah, not me.
Michael.
Definitely not.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. I did roll a 4 on my last check, but hopefully that. I mean, I overall still been doing better. So, big money, no whammy. 83.
Hey.
Oh boy.
Sometimes higher is better. Sometimes higher is worse. So, who knows?
This was more of a to see how. I'll let you know now. This was more of a to see how far along you get, and if you gain any ground on the. I'm not going to say what it is. That traveled up, and you rolled that, and they rolled a 100. So.
We wanted farther apart, didn't we?
No.
No? Close together?
Actually,
Alright.
no. You guys are actually a lot closer to the point where you can actually, after another 3 or so hours of trudging along this path, and you have officially made it into the Rocky Mountain steps. There's still some forest there, but you've now clearly started to elevate up. And because you're technically going up until you pass over the mountain to go back down, you can actually see what it is that you saw the footprints of, as they don't seem to be following the path exactly, more like weaving in and out of it. And up ahead, roughly about a mile, you see what you could only describe as massive alligators covered in moss, gray, standing on hind legs, slowly crossing the path before only following it slightly before continuing it down to the side.
Do they seem to have taken notice of us, or?
Nope, they are following their whatever it is that's guiding them toward their destination. But you four, technically 7 or 6, notice them. Because, like I said, you're going uphill and you can see them up ahead. And they are continuing their path. 3 massive alligators on hind legs, covered in that, like, almost living moss. And their eyes, now you can't see them yet, but it's been described to you that those creatures have, like, almost dead fish eyes that glow slightly gray.
Seems we found our monsters.
Sounds nasty.
You don't think there'll be a trouble for you when you're working on your project, right, Mev? Or do you think that might be a problem?
Not once we arrive there, unless that's where these creatures are going, which I don't know. We're still too far away to see if they're going to return to the edge of the ancient forest towards the swamp, or if they're going to enter within. My village and my home where my research is more or less in the center of the ancient forest, far from where any of these creatures should be. They should begin to, as soon as we enter the forest itself, they should begin to veer to the north, over to the edge of the forest where the swamp will begin. That's their normal territory. Not entirely sure, like I said before, why they're so far out, and they seem to be returning, but I'm not entirely. This whole thing is very new, not something I've ever seen before.
Seems they're heading back towards their territory, so hopefully they shouldn't be an issue. Unless whatever brought them out here acts up again, in which case we won't know until it does something.
We still don't know what the circumstances of that was. As you suggested, something could have taken them, something could have summoned them, something could have simply found out what this was and created a new moss tree elsewhere that has spawned new creatures, and they're simply returning. It's unknown, and now this is another issue we'll have to find a way to deal with. Let the right people know.
Well, unless either of you have any ideas, I think it probably would be best not to instigate.
Yeah, probably not.
Isn't that right, Kaylin? Sorry.
Yeah.
I was out of character.
Kaylin, are you still there? And if you're talking, Chris, I'm sorry to hear you.
Yeah, if you're talking,
No, I am. I'm sorry. It's just that there's a lot of background.
You're good.
Oh, no, you're good, you're good. Yeah, so what's the verdict? We have 2 for letting the creatures go about with their business. How about you?
I mean, I guess we'll let them go about their business.
Yeah.
What were you planning on doing?
Well, I mean, I gotta speak with animals, so I'm curious to see what they have to say.
Admittedly, well, I'm actually not entirely sure how that works. Are they more plant or animal? Would speak with animals work? I mean, she used speak with animals, so on a similar but different creature, would you need speak with animal or speak with plant?
That is an interesting question. We could certainly try and see what happens. I mean, you've been told these reanimate dead creatures, so when you cast speak with animals, are you talking to the dead creature that's being puppeted by the moss, or would you cast speak with plant that would then speak with you?
Maybe you
Ooh,
speak
the dead
identities
creature as well.
which one you choose. Yeah.
I mean, who knows? That's something for you guys to figure out if and when you choose to.
It's none of the above.
That
It's
sounds
actually
like
speak with dead.
magic. Yeah. Well, you
And
really
if
need
you
to
want to
cast
speak with
all
the
three at the
dead
same time.
animal. I mean, if you cast speak with animals and speak with dead, will that let you speak with dead animals?
Maybe you just need to cast all three of them at the same time.
And then go
Speak with
crazy
dead
with all the
animals.
voices.
The grass.
I mean, that's something you
Huge
can
tragic
definitely
backstory.
try.
Nah.
But no, Caitlin is leaving them alone. I think she could feel Nishoni and Leo's just stare.
Yeah.
You can actually feel them when they're saying the words and looking at you directly. We're leaving them alone, right, Nisha? Right?
I'm
Right.
just, I'm just imagining Leah doing that Attack on Titan face of like disapproval.
Okay.
Who?
Trying to see if I
I
can.
almost imagine her having the God. I can't remember what her name is. The potato girl. Like during the their boot camp days, where she's just eating the potatoes, not knowing why everyone's looking at her
Sasha.
while she just continues to munch. Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is.
Is Kaylin channeling
Just like,
Sasha?
why are you guys looking at me? That's what I feel like sometimes.
You
I
want
haven't
some?
even done anything.
Do you want some potato?
Just eating a potato.
Yeah. It's actually a good cheat for like a quick plant, for like a good berry. Just grow a quick potato. That's a day's worth of food, more or less. Just cook it really quick on a fire with a stick. Baked potato right there.
Baked potato, but it's very clearly a berry. Tastes like potato.
Oh, that'd be an interesting thing if you used those good berries to make a jam. How would that taste?
Very jam.
Very good.
Right over some of the elven bread.
Oh, lambus.
Some of the
Yeah.
lambus bread.
I don't. Okay, weird off topic thing. Have you guys ever done banana on your like PB and J's?
Oh yeah.
Delicious.
No, but I do love banana slices on peanut butter on a toaster waffle.
See, I've never done the banana thing, but I've been told it's very good. I've never had a chance to try it. Never got to
It's a
see
good
about doing
combo.
it one day. Yeah, it sounds because I've only ever done. No, just those for pancakes for some reason. I always love like dicing a banana into the pancake batter and just in a blender, just for that extra.
Yeah.
Like, just banana pancakes for some reason has always just been a thing.
Yeah, that would definitely work nicely.
Oh, sorry, no, getting off track. Yeah, okay. Well, leaving them alone, right? So you guys want to like just slow your pace down, or give them a minute to finish their thing, or how do you want to let them be about their way?
If they're blocking our path, then probably
Well, they're
just
not
wait
so much
here.
blocking it. It's just you notice that they're ahead of you, and they're not going like the straight path. They're more going like a zigzag kind of thing. So they're obviously not going as fast, but they're still staying ahead of you, which is what the roll was for. If they'd have gotten lower than you, then you would have turned around and seen, oh, that's where, wow, we already passed them without knowing it. If you'd gotten like too close, that would have been the interaction.
Okay. Leah has something. I think she kind of, while we're kind of waiting here, she kind of looks within herself and kind of feels some new capabilities. She says, this is maybe a bit weird to bring up, but I feel like I can do something that might help. keep their attention off of us. Make us a bit harder for them to notice, see, hear, smell.
What's that?
At the game, it's Path Without Trace, but she doesn't
Ah.
know all the names and stuff, not necessarily.
Well, how would you call this, and how would you flavor it? Because this would be however you'd want to. I mean, for all you say, this is just like a smoke bomb that essentially covers up all that stuff and makes it easier for you guys to blend in.
Well, I think it's tied to kind of similar to that inky tattoo that she has. Basically, assuming everybody's good with it, and she is using this, it's kind of, she concentrates for a moment. That tattoo kind of like swirls up her arm, and like the ink from it like leaves her arm and actually kind of envelops us, but then kind of becomes more translucent, and it's not like making us invisible, but it is making us like a little see-through. It's like making us blend in with the environment a bit better.
Interesting.
I like
So
to
a
think
magical
like you
ghillie
try
suit.
like you essentially do like that Mr. Mime thing, like you put your hand up like on a wall, and that's when like it starts spreading from your hand to like the actual like the air itself, and it just starts spreading around, making like that quick little area of effect. And it just goes camo almost, but you're not fully invisible. You're starting to go.
I mean, yeah, you could definitely like, again, Pass Without Trace. It makes you harder to notice, but not like invisible. But yeah, it's kind of that. And I assume that I think that it also, similarly, again, to Pass Without Trace, it makes us, our sounds a bit more muted and kind of obscures our smell a bit, I think.
Neat.
Good old Pass Without Trace. Good spell. Yep. And my character sheet crashed.
I do. But yeah, no, she just cast Pass Without a Trace, so what do you guys want to do? You guys are now super stealthy. How do you wish to proceed?
For the next hour.
Assuming it's concentration, if I'm remembering it right, or am I thinking of something else?
Yes, let me double check. Oh, yes, it is. It is concentration.
Alright, so for the next, 10 minutes, an hour? How long is this?
Hour, yeah.
Nice.
Should be able to sneak past in an hour. I would hope so.
Alright, how do you guys want to proceed? You guys hit that Pink Panther kind of stealth and just go for it?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, all we can do is really be sneaky, and then we've got the added help of Pass Without a Trace.
Yeah, I think keep a decently wide berth from them, but
Yeah.
try and get around.
Tiptoe.
Alright. Roll me stealth checks, and then who wants to roll another D100?
Woohoo!
You want to do it this time?
Sure.
And so that it's a +10 on everybody's stealth check. So I will also, again, use this on not just the three of us, but also Mev, her guards, and her creature companions.
Nice.
It's a 7 plus 17. 17 is the bonus.
So that's a +10 to our stealth, you said?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my
So
gosh.
what's your total?
24.
24.
34.
Aha, nice. And David, what'd you get?
There's an argument that it's better than invisibility in a lot of cases.
Sometimes, yeah, if you don't need to be completely out of sight and just gotta sneak it through, yeah, this is way better. because it's a multiple people.
Yep.
I actually made a DM once ban that spell because of how good we got in and out of what he thought would be a like high pressure prison break thing. But I mean, oof, its concentration lasts an hour and it's a +10 to everything. We were in and out with the information, the prisoners, and nothing else. Nothing went wrong.
A good one. Like, don't get me wrong, invisibility is definitely good, particularly if there's like not very many places to hide, or if you need to like cross like very clearly visible areas. But if you're in a place where it's, you know, have a decent amount of cover,
you can go shadow to shadow, corner to corner, pass it on the chest. There were a lot more traps from then on. Like the kind specifically made to not necessarily hurt, but the jig is up. They know you're there. A lot of alarm spells.
Yeah.
Which then led to like a person doing the whole, I'm having like detect magic up at all times with a literal timer set on his like IRL watch to say like, oh, and I have passed without a trace up as well.
Yeah. Well, particularly if you have multiple people
like
casting the spells to have both up at the same time. So good.
Oh yeah. Always good to be synced up. Sky, if you're talking, we can't hear you. I'm so sorry.
Crystal.
You good? You're talking, we can't hear you. If you're zoned out, yo.
Blink twice.
Are you being held captive?
They got Crystal.
Dang it.
Then I knew
okay.
exactly who to go for first. The mastermind.
Cerveza Crystal.
Oh, who rolled the D100?
Oh, I did. I got a 75.
Nice.
Sure.
Okay, once we get Crystal's stealth check, I'll be able to let you guys know. I mean, you guys got pretty decent stealth, so assuming it's not going to be that terrible.
I mean,
probably not.
as long as she doesn't roll a natural 1.
Oh, good God. So Mev and her four, they were terrible at that. Luckily, they had that pass without a trace. They rolled a 3, a 4, and a 4. That was their rolls on their stealth. They had.
Why use pass without trace?
Yeah, the highest they got was a 16, 15, 16. That was their total score, and it was just enough. So let's see what when Crystal gets back what hers was. But on the bright side, I think you guys may have done it.
Yay!
You did so quietly. Because you look, like I said, like you start going forward for a while, careful not to get caught, and you're finally at the edge, passing through the Rocky Mountains, and then you look back, and you do see them, and let's see if they fail to notice you. I'll be honest, I had the undead alligator ready for this encounter, but, you know, we'll see if you guys are able to just slide right past it.
We will see. I am sorry to circumvent the the encounter. I'm sure it would have been a cool encounter, but
I know.
also, yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be an encounter, like you said. You could have used that speak with tree, animal, and/or dead combination to see what was up with those guys. Who knows? They might have not been hostile. Maybe. Probably. It could happen.
And what we're gonna let. Listen, Leah is. She is endeared to the group to a decent degree, but also she is not necessarily fully trusting of their peacemaking capabilities in some ways, respectfully.
You know what? That's fair.
I mean, it's not like this is going to be a hard one. You guys you rolled well on the information. You know one of their major weaknesses, and you're well aware of what it is you're fighting.
I also would. They may be connected to the goings on with Maeve. There's a good chance they're not, but I also was like, we're gonna be, if we do fight them, we're gonna be injured afterwards, in which case there's a good chance that we would get ambushed while we were down.
Alright, I'm sorry, guys.
You're fine.
No problem. Everything good?
So that's a stealth check, right?
Stealth check plus
Yep.
10 because you got passed without a trace on.
33.
Oh,
nice.
That's very nice. Yes. So you guys did great. Mev and her companions did terrible. And you guys had to occasionally help them not step on branches or, knock into a few things as they were. You seem to be more preoccupied with looking for the creatures than actually being stealthy, is what you noticed until you finished. But after what seemed to be a few minutes of stealthy traveling, and you finally seem to be like the apex of the rocky mountains on the path, and now you're looking like the path down towards the ancient forest after you quick cross of a river. You look back and you do see the creatures, the alligators, still doing that crisscross in and out of the path through the forest thing, and they don't seem to have noticed you.
Pattern they're walking in, but a mystery for either another day or someone else.
Indeed, and this is totally. I mean, you could just, lie in stealth and confront them, or you can just continue forward now that you've gotten well past them. These guys are almost as far away from you as you were from them the first time, like a good mile back. So odds are they're not gonna get to you for a good bit.
I'm good to just keep going, but
Yeah, that was the plan.
you wanna go in.
You sound so
Right.
disappointed.
Are you going to? Would you want to attack them or what? Don't know if I dare say the other option. I think I'd be more scared of the other option.
I mean, they look interesting.
Afraid- And if
I wanna
you
go
live
and
in a
attack them.
Guardian, and/or those little green, like gremlin dudes, who knows?
Maybe I can make them my friend.
That's what I was afraid of.
And then we have backup for the assassins. It's a win-win.
That's not a terrible point. I don't know. We could use all the defenses that we could get. I don't know if I... Do you... Oh, God. Gods. Do you think you could legitimately befriend them? Maeve? What are your thoughts regarding possibility of that? Being able to get them to help defend as well?
Not entirely known what method were you thinking of trying?
Leah looks at Kaylin.
I was just going to go offer them some rations, because that's normally how I get most
Okay.
animals to be friends with.
Right. Let me give you a more in-depth explanation of these creatures.
Please
The
continue, Rab.
creature you're trying to befriend is not the, and she's actually like leaning down and starting to actually draw on the dirt with her finger, making a crude shape of the alligator, and making a few indents with her thumb to indicate the moss. It's not the creature itself that you're trying to tame. This creature is already passed. It is, she points towards the bits of moss. It's that which has taken over the shop and is currently using it. And that is not necessarily a creature, but a plant, as far as we've been able to study them, which is not much for the few we've been able to observe.
They're probably not the most eager to be friends, Kaylin. I think this is probably for the best.
It's basically what you're looking at in monsters.
I think that this one's a little bit more dinosaur-esque, it sounds like, since it's big enough and like standing on its hind legs, right?
Yeah, and there's 3 of them. And you notice that these things are almost moving almost like like old animatronics. It's bad, it's clunky, it's obviously this thing isn't moving like it's alive.
Ooh.
Yeah. This thing is literally just a meat suit for the vegetation that's growing on it and controlling it. And from what people theorize, and one of theories that Mel gives you is the moss lives on it until it consumes everything on it, until it is likely just bone. Possibly some skin it can absorb or hide, but almost anything else it seems to be able to slowly convert into nutrients for it to continue before it has to either find another host or it will begin to, well, it doesn't necessarily into a strange form of almost hibernation, so it has to be burned away unless it gets into contact with something else, in which case it will act like normal poison ivy, and it can stay on someone until it finds another host.
Alligators are already pretty cold-blooded before becoming an undead monstrosity.
Well, that's the thing. If you're trying to befriend it, then you're looking to befriend the moss that is controlling the body, not the creature long since.
That's fair.
You look at this like Mev trying to explain the concept of death to a child. Like they're gone. They're asleep. They're not getting back up.
The alligator went to a farm, and the mouse took over its body. A great big farm in the sky.
Woohoo.
So, I'm not entirely sure how. What is your plan for this? If you still wish to continue on.
We just keep heading back towards her home and leave these things alone. Maybe we could find some other monsters to befriend, just not these ones. She like pats
Yeah.
Not with
Caleb
our
on the
current-
shoulder as she says that.
Not with our current company at lack of information.
Shall we continue on then?
Onward.
Onward! I don't know.
Alright, so you guys are moving forward?
Yes.
Yes.
2?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, then onward you go. Promise I'll make the next fight more worthwhile. You'll have plenty of animals to try and tame.
Woo.
Onward you go! And you give me one more survival check. You see how quickly you exit the rocky. There it is, the Rocky Mounts, and head towards the ancient forest.
It is a 14 total.
Boom.
Let's see. 9.
No.
Ooh, 21.
Ooh.
Oh. Kaylin, you lead the charge this time. You enter the ancient forest.
Alright.
And as you start making your way through there, and Rev starts to take the lead, remembering her path home, you see that the sun is finally starting to set. And she does let you know you've got at least another hour or two before you make, when you essentially enter her camp.
Bye.
So, what's the marching order?
Same as before, or do we want to mix it up?
Yeah.
Same as before, huddle pile going forward, or
I'm fine going in a huddle.
Huddle and keep an eyes on the trees and everything else.
Okay.
Alright.
alright, perception checks as you guys continue forward.
Okay. Hey, that's a dirty 20.
It's a 19.
Very nice. And Kaylin? Nope, muted.
She needs to mute. Don't know if she's still able to roll and send in chat, or if she's just going to be out for a bit.
That's good. Now let's roll to see if you guys get one last monster before you hit 10. Wow. That was a natural 20.
Either really good or bad. Nope, she got a 27.
So, all of you guys, including Mav, are able to see this coming. There are, in fact, a bunch. There was essentially a tree that you could see with strange vibrating branches, and you're able to see that some of these branches, the leaves on it, aren't actually a part of the tree, and they quickly fall straight down before scattering in the wind and begin to fly off as you see that these are, in fact, some kind of flying creature. It's a little difficult to see. Who's got dark vision now that we're getting into the old twilight of the day?
Let's see.
I believe Noshoni should have the dark vision. She's part cat.
Yes, 60 feet.
Alright. So night vision from the Shoni. Yeah, night vision as well, right? Elf.
We're asking. Okay.
Alright. Okay, so you can have it, yes? She doesn't?
Leah doesn't. She can cast dark vision, but she already cast something else, and I need 2 key points, and I only have 3 total, and I used 2 earlier, so.
No, yeah, that's fair. Okay, so Shoni and Kaylin are the ones who see this more clearly. These are actually kind of large bird-like wasps that look like small tree branches, and their wings take the form of like normal tree leaves. And they all seem to be moving in like a swarm. And they bolt towards your direction. And you brace for what you think might be a bit of combat before they blow right past you. Don't even slow down at all. In fact, they pick up speed.
Barely see.
And one last time, everybody, for the perception was 27. Yeah, that's enough. You notice from where they were fleeing, the direction that they came from, you notice that the tree is beginning to bend slightly forward. And that's when you notice around the side of its trunk a clawed hand that is slowly pushing it down. It doesn't look like it's exerting force, the claw is just moving very slowly, but almost without effort, slowly pushing the tree down. You can hear the wood and the bark start to bend and bend until they just can't, and it breaks, and the tree falls. And the dust cloud quickly obfuscates the view before it slowly
You good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thought I had that right. Darn it, no. Where'd it go? I had a picture for this. It's not saved down here. I had it right here. Ah, it kills it. Okay, found it again, and this should no longer be a problem. Okay, and the tree falls, there's a plume of dust, and this is what you see. as the sun is already set behind it, the light is slowly fading, but you get to clearly see the outline of this odd creature that none of you have technically seen before.
I dramatically pull out my flaming blades to help illuminate.
It's a T-Rex.
Oh, shit. It's a T-Rex.
Very creepy.
It is, and
Oh, he's got his ribs hanging out.
couldn't find that. Yeah, it is also covered with this green moss.
Yeah.
Is this just like a different form of the disease? I wonder.
Who knows?
Think so?
That's the
Maybe.
thing. No one really knows. No one's ever really been able to pinpoint where it came from. They just know it started, it hit everybody, and it's been 100 years. Well, it's been more than 100 years, technically.
Well, Galen, you wanted to make a friend. She's still muted.
Yeah, no. Okay, so let me go this. It's been 800 years when the first reporting of the Malachor was reported. Back then, they thought it was just something new that we would cure quickly. Did not turn out that way at all. And now that you've said it in your head, there are some similarities between this and the Malachor in what it does to its victims. Essentially, the eyes do go, they go blind, and
Does it puppet them around their corpse? Sorry.
no, when they die with this, they do tend to die. It's just that their blood kind of tends to coagulate. They seem to almost mummify a bit, but they still have full motor function. They're still fully in control. They just slowly just start to almost decay, almost like a dead tree.
They're still in control of their dead body?
No, they don't.
I'm teasing.
They don't become undead. That's a whole other thing.
All right.
That one's the whatchamacallit. That's one of the ways some people try to quote unquote cure themselves is to go undead. Still didn't take it. This disease still killed them. There's an actual record of someone taking out a necromancer by infecting them with the Malachor. That's how it killed them.
Oh, this is fucked up.
Oh yeah, no, this takes no prisoners.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
Well,
this is what's
also
in front of you.
Giant zombie T-Rex is also pretty fucked up too.
It is.
He's not here. I kind of want to jokingly push Kalen forward, not fully, but just a little nudge. It's like, yeah, you wanted to make a friend. Here you are.
Yeah, you said you wanted to try something, right?
She's gonna write it.
Oh God. No, don't zoom. Not now, please, not now.
I mean, it's worth maybe a try. Maybe, kind of, maybe.
I'm not gonna say no. I'm just pitch it to me. How are you gonna try it?
Maybe don't start with the writing it. I think she's still unable to talk at the moment. Still muted.
Oh, that's fine. How do you guys proceed and/or react? Because Mel already sees this and is freaking the fuck out because she recognizes what is affecting them. And let me just do a quick roll to see if she's able to figure out what this.
Yalia is pulling out both of her
Yes.
fingers.
She actually looks at this with a bit of shock that you guys can clearly see is not of something unknown and terrible, but something recognized and terrible.
Sure, that's fine.
Yeah, so she
Oh my God.
recognizes this creature for what it used to be, and what it's also now apparently become, and this is her two companions are immediately fangs out. They are ready to go into battle, and she immediately shakes herself loose and is essentially looking at you guys to see what your reactions would be, whether this is going to be a fight or flight thing, because this thing is still a good few meters ahead of you. The tree it knocked down to make its dramatic entrance is a bit away from you, but it does look down at you all. What are you guys going to do?
Leah's preparing her weapons if we're going to fight, because even if we run, might turn into a fight. But she is also kind of looking to the others to see, it's like, are we going to stay or are we going to try and go? Also, is it like directly in front of, in between like us and where we're trying to go, or is it like kind of off the side? Can we get around it? Or would that be?
You guys have entered the ancient forest, so this thing being here, that you guys could go around it. Because you guys just taking the straight path, that would be the fastest way to get there. But it's a forest, so you guys can go around and get to it. It's not a thing. But yeah, you seeing this specifically in here is definitely going to be. Some questions got to be asked later. What the hell's going on?
Well, it's concerning that those other creatures were not the only ones to appear in the forest, appear outside of the swamp.
Yeah.
Or
definitely some new questions to be asked now. What?
What the fuck? Oh, Nishoni?
I mean, has it seen us?
It's slowly beginning to turn into our direction. You guys have a quick moment to decide whether you guys are going to, stay and fight or try and flee, get away, and find another route toward the mountains.
Okay, I think just sneaking behind a tree quick. Just to observe before it comes charging at us, maybe?
Does it seem like it's noticed us? Or just knock out the tree for aura points?
It knocked out the tree. You're not entirely sure why it did that. You do know that tree used to be filled with a bunch of animals that maybe it was going for, or maybe the tree was just in its way and it's just doing its daily walk around. Who knows? But for the time being, it has not done anything to see that it's noticed you. It is just currently surveying its new vantage points. Whether you guys have detected it not yet.
Is the pass without trace still active? Does it last an hour?
No, that hour's passed. Unfortunately, that was during the mountain thing. You guys are now home stretch in the ancient forest. Technically, only like an hour and a half at most before you actually hit the actual village. Because you guys have already entered the forest edge. Should have been a straighter path and an easier way than this, but well, I rolled a nat 20 on the thing, so you guys got the big one.
Vegan. I don't know how Kaylin's reacting necessarily, but I think what she wants to do is try and grab Kaylin and Mev, and kind of also try and duck behind a tree, or try and duck out of cover, maybe behind a bush, I don't know. Everything good, Crystal? Okay. I had to.
Alright, everybody roll stealth checks.
Woo!
Alright.
Ooh, that's another bad roll.
Not too jabby. 23.
Yeah, that's an 11.
So
No,
23
unfortunately not.
and 11. Oof. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna stop using the Kimmy die for Mav because she's not rolling great. Oh, so that's a 16 because Pass Without a Trace is currently gone. Oof. Alright, well, let's see if the big guy notices you. Oh, sorry, I got called away. Alright. Oh my god, that was... Oh god, that was terrible. Yeah, no, that... Oof, that... No. Just... You guys are hidden. You guys are hidden. He rolled a 4 on that die. So what you guys want to do? You guys are currently hidden.
Well,
Should we? Hopefully he doesn't come this way,
yeah, hopefully.
and hopefully he wanders off so we can get around.
We can throw something to distract him, make him go the other way. Or would that be too obvious? Just alert him.
Here, I can. Nishoni, you're in charge. I'm
Oh.
gonna go and head over a bit farther out, and I'll make some noise to distract him so that he comes over there. I'll get away before he gets there, hopefully. And you guys head towards the village. I'll try to reconvene with you.
Be careful.
I will. I think that should be... I should be fine. There's a little bit of concern in her voice, because I don't think... She's been in some situations, but nothing quite like this, I don't think.
No.
But, she's going to kind of do her best to step into the shadows and try and stealthily kind of move back a ways, kind of away from the rest of the group, but kind of like parallel, or no, not parallel, perpendicular to kind of where the big Z-Rex is.
Alright.
Should I roll anything, or?
You're trying to
should we
continue
roll
to
while they're
stealth,
trying to
right?
get away? Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll it one more perception otherwise because it rolled terribly. So if it can't get perception, something better. Yeah. It got its own perception check up a little better. You can keep your own, your old stealth roll. You can roll a new one, please.
23. I'm gonna go ahead and roll to see if I can get higher, since I'm gonna be probably a bit more in its ire here in a moment. If I,
Go for
do
it.
this right. Oh, that is a 26 now.
Oh yeah, you are still stealth. You know that this thing did swivel its head back and forth where you moved and where you are now, but it doesn't seem to block on you guys. It just looks around. There's an odd sniff, even though it has no lungs. But it does continue to just look around suspiciously.
A couple of ideas, but which one do I want to go with? I mean, I kind of want to, just set a fire to get its attention, but that might end up having some other negative consequences. Would be attracted by the sound of some sort of prey animal, or actually not entirely sure what this thing would be attracted by necessarily. But I'm going to go ahead. I think what I'm going to do. Actually, check. Is it a hammer or is it a? Okay. Oh, do have a hand axe. No, I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to once I get far enough away to act as a good diversion, but still close enough that it would hear it for sure. I want to use one of those explosive scrolls. I still have a handful of those.
All right. Now, how you want to plant them? Like in a all together, and hope it like walks past and you detonate, or do you want to leave them like one by one? How you want to do this?
I was hoping to just be able to use one to get this thing's attention. Because I think what it is I slap it on something and then like the next round it explodes. My plan was to slap it on something and then book it so that it gets its attention, hopefully enough to investigate. And then by the time it gets over there, I'm already gone.
Fair. All right. Go ahead.
Hopefully it's enough of a distraction that it turns away from and is easier to get past for the others.
That works. Go for it.
Okay. Let's see, where is the explosive scroll? It's a pretty decently sized explosion, if I remember correctly. Just had it. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it says it's a 15-foot radius explosion after 6 seconds. I don't remember what damage it does, but should I roll anything to distract it, or should I roll anything for stealth?
Roll for stealth because you're not so much distracting it as the detonation is, which will definitely get its attention. You're just going to see if it notices only that.
Yeah. I'm going to plant it at the bottom of a decently large tree, so that it'll like tip over and hopefully also further get its attention.
Right.
Alright, big money, no whammies on stealth check.
You can do it.
Not terrible. It's not as good as it had been, but that is a 19.
19. All right. And let me just roll for that detonation. All right, and it is loud. And this thing does immediately go towards the area where you blasted to investigate. Does not seem to notice you whatsoever. It rolled a natural 1.
Thank God.
So, you did in fact manage to distract it, and it is now, assuming you pointed it in the completely opposite direction of you and your party.
Is like broadly back the way we came, but like kind of off to the side. It's like perpendicular to where we're going, is what I'm trying to do. Basically just trying to kind of move it out of the way so that we can continue taking the straightest path. Or at least something close to it.
All right. No, it succeeds. I said this thing. Roll a 1. So you got it.
She is just kind of...
Alright, so what you doing?
Just getting out of there as quickly as she can. But then she'll kind of, once she's a good distance away, she'll try and staying hidden, probably actually up in one of the trees, but she is going to kind of wait for the rest of her party.
Are we able to meet up?
You guys, are you guys trying? Well, you guys essentially stayed until you heard the detonation now, and now that you've heard the explosion and you see the beast going off in an opposite direction, are you running over to meet up with your friend who, I'm not sure, has broken stealth to tell you where they're going to meet up yet? They're still,
I think she
going over to where they were?
Wait for my signal and then basically left, so presuming that is the signal, I think.
Assuming you think that big ass explosion was the signal.
Seems to be distracted.
Indeed.
Then yeah, I think we follow and, or I guess keep walking and hopefully meet up with. Yeah, because I don't think we discussed a meeting point, but she'll catch up to it.
Okay.
I'm just gonna like silently jump down when you guys are passing under the tree that she was hiding in.
Ah!
Shit. Don't want to get its attention.
You're all right?
Seem to be. It doesn't seem like it's looking for anything in particular from what I gather. It's just around, from what I can tell.
Then perhaps we can get by it without any confrontation.
Hopefully. What it's doing so close to your village, though, I don't know. She says towards Mel. Not Mel. Mev.
Meph, do you know why that would be around here?
You seem to recognize this specific creature as well. Is Crystal back?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she just spoke a second ago.
I guess I blanked on that. I didn't register it. Nice. Sorry to distract your new friend. But I don't think that would end well. Everything all right?
Yeah.
If you're talking. Oh,
Nope.
hey there.
Hello.
Hello!
I thought we were waiting for Siler to
Okay,
tell us
everything,
what.
really,
Oh, I thought I was-
everything went super quiet for a second. Okay, so you guys have met up, and I don't think I heard any of the last of that. But you guys are together, and you have successfully distracted the large creature. Now would be the chance to essentially run around and find another path. Mev does no other ways around.
Okay, yeah, we've met back up though?
Yes.
Okay, well then, would we be able to kind of take that straightest path and kind of give the Z-Rex
You
a
have to
wide
go-
berth?
Go around a bit before you'd be able to take another straightest path. But yeah, it'd be a small detour, but not that big. You're just essentially sticking to the sides and hopefully not get noticed again by the large creature who is now definitely looking around. But you, for the moment, have a brief respite to try and make your next move.
Maybe go around, give it a wide berth.
That's one for go around. Shoni, Kaven.
Yes, let's go around.
Also,
Around
Mev, you seem to recognize the creature, not just the moss, but the creature? I may have misinterpreted that, but
No, I know what the creature once was. What it's doing here is another thing I'll have to look into after all this. This isn't right.
do we know about dinosaurs?
You do not. And the two of the island also would not. There's only one tribe that specializes in this, and they are not.
Big lizard, wingless dragon.
Almost, yeah. Just a little bit bigger. Dragons can grow a little bit bigger, but you also don't know how big these things could go. This is more or less the size of a young adult dragon. That's just standing on its hind legs, has tiny little arms, but a far larger forehead, almost like an adult dragon head on a young adult dragon body. With tiny arms, no wings.
That thing has weird proportions. Do you think it still spits fire?
Giant. You can
With
definitely.
mossy like that?
Well, I mean, who knows? It might spit out poison and that mossy stuff at you, but fire, who knows?
It's moss. Oh, and that's making me think of that elder brain dragon that has a mind flare parasite breath weapon that literally just infects you with mind flares.
Yeah, no, that's not. Ugh.
Gross.
Oh, just horrible. Horrible mental image.
Spits the leeches at you, basically.
Yeah,
and then
no,
the leeches go behind your eyes and eat your brain.
Ugh. Yeah, nobody needs them on that.
Ugh. Well. Take the wide berth then?
Yes.
Alrighty, and you start to go around. Give me one more stealth check as you take the final steps to exit stage 9 and out of this thing's wow. But if you I've really handicapped this thing by using Kinney's dice.
Dare I use Kimmy's dice for this last roll?
You may dare.
It's up to
I'm
you
do-
completely.
I'm gonna do stealth check. I mean, could be worse. 16. Could be a lot
20.
worse, frankly.
Nice.
I'm glad that the curse was broken. That you've been rolling decently well. It's only the first handful of rolls.
Indeed. This thing rolled another 4, so you guys are fine. You stealth past it. No problem.
Poorly it was rolling, we might have just been able to walk between its legs.
Maybe.
Walk underneath it. Like, it's fine.
The range moving arch that seems to be moving back and forth. You guys pay no mind, just walk past it, you guys are fine. Okay, fuck.
That weird moss-covered arch that shaped like a disproportionate dragon.
Fine, totally fine. Yeah, you guys move past that, and they're now ever more vigilant, especially now Mav that seems to have her head on a constant swivel. Now, a lot more concerned that such creatures have entered her, her home and the wood. Now she seems to have sent her companions out in a almost like a rotating perimeter to make sure nothing else sneaks up on you. As you do walk, and for the next hour, and all is calm as you finally reach Irvin's.
Woo!
Indeed.
And it's not. All the inhabitants aren't covered in moss, are they?
No. Not this.
Not yet.
Not just yet. But you do notice that the wagon and the supplies she sent on ahead did in fact arrive earlier than you did. But all of the stone spherical little huts, as well as the lovely little... And you notice that these trees all around here seem to have like... you know those bug catchers? Think just a small rounded cage that's just full of what are those? Damn, I'm blanking out on those names. The bugs that light up.
Fireflies?
Fireflies.
Yeah, it's essentially they've created this odd little almost woven kind of cage that seems to attract fireflies in the dozens. You're not sure what they use as lures, but they essentially stay there and float, and they give the village a lovely bit of luminescence as the night has fully taken the island. And you see at the center of the village is a single, almost two trees that seem to be intertwining and molding together, as around them there are over a dozen spears stuck into the ground that seem to be pulsing with odd runes that seem to make a trail down the staves of the spears and up to the tree to the twisted and combined leaves and branches. You guys have in fact entered the you have entered her village. Mev is now home, and that is part 1 of your assignment complete.
Woo!
She does ask if you all wish to rest for the night, as tomorrow you start the long task of safeguarding her once she escorts you from the village toward her secret lab and abode that is a bit outside the village.
Yes, rest would probably be good.
Yeah,
Rest
with that,
before-
and if there's something else you guys would like to do, you can all take a long rest, unless there's anything you guys need to talk, speak of, or take care of before so.
I think I'm good. Don't know about you guys, but I think it would be good to take a rest, and we can talk to people as needed on the morrow.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
How many little village you got here?
Thank you.
I'm gonna mark a long rest, and is that good?
Yep, everyone mark a long rest.
Woo!
I think basically the only thing that I really used in this day was the key points, but every bit counts.
Every little bit. Alright, and you sleep. Everybody roll me a quick d20.
Long day of not fighting dinosaurs.
A 4.
Well, okay, seriously, I also rolled a 4.
16.
4 times 4 is 16.
Sorry, but Cobra gotta do something. What were the rolls?
Kaylin and Leah rolled a 4 and Nishoni rolled a 16. Sorry.
4, 16, and what was the last one?
4.
So two. Who rolled the 2 4s?
Leah and Kaylin both rolled 4.
And so Leah and Kaylin rolled the 4, and Ashoni, what was Ashoni's?
14. Or 16, sorry.
14. 16. Alright. Well, Ashoni, this will be new to you, but to the others, this will actually be a bit familiar. As you enter the realm of Morpheus, and you find yourself once again in that strange, odd dance of trees, hills, that strange moon-like eye in the sky once again, and the same figure, hooded and seemingly waiting for you all to gather your bearings, as the three of you are, in fact, well, together, but also realizing this is not where you laid your heads to rest. And some of you may remember this as the dream you had with which you now are relatively comfortable admitting is likely the god of many faces.
Caitlin looks excited.
Alas. Alright, that's one reaction.
Remind us of what this looking like. It's been a while. Sorry.
Let me see if I can find the old...
Sorry. Leah's a bit more concerned because most of the time when gods show up and talk like this, it's not for pleasantries.
Nope. Okay, but yeah, no, here is more or less... repost these. This is more or less where you are, and the
I think you may have cut out there.
rope individual that's speaking to you.
Yep. Ah, right. Is the moon and I again?
It does look like an eye again, yes. But you three are in this dream together, unlike the time before, and seems to be waiting for you all to finish your reaction to this place before it speaks.
Leah's a bit concerned, but she's also looking to Nishoni since I think this is the first time she's been in one of these dreams.
Yeah, what are we seeing?
This robed figure in this odd field of flowers with trees on the outskirts, and they seem to have... they seem to almost be waiting for you all to ask or to speak.
Hello.
Oh right, Nishoni, sorry. I forgot, Nishoni, you haven't actually haven't had one of these dreams before, I don't think.
Yeah.
That was someone else. But you do notice your companion's reaction to this is definitely unique. But this one person in front of you does seem almost familiar, but strange because you know you've never been anywhere like this before or spoken to an individual like this before as well. But they do seem patient and they seem to be waiting.
Hello.
Hello?
Do you have another message for us?
Everything going all right?
Things have begun to escalate in the world as a whole and on the island. And I simply came here to offer again my words and advice if you wish to listen. But this is always a bit difficult with those that are uninitiated. I apologize for that. But I will offer what I can. The path you are on now is a productive one, and it will, I believe, help you in your goals. But I do feel like you still have questions that I may be able to answer, so while possible, and while we're here, I will answer what I can, if you wish to ask.
Yeah, we'll look to the others. Also,
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna ask before, but then we kind of got into the dream sequences. Did we want to leave off here and pick up next time, or do we want to finish this scene?
If you guys want to like go for next week so you can think of some stuff to ask, yeah?
I'd be open to that. What are you guys thinking?
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, I'm okay either way.
Alright, so we'll end it off here and we'll start off next week fresh with the dream questions.
Cool.
If I end up asking a question I've already asked, or we've already asked,
No, it's all good. Best to ask, get the answer. As soon as the dream's over, it's a small trip to her cabin, and then starts the camp out, I guess.
siege defense.
Siege defense, a small reunion. I'm sure it'll be fine. Leah, yeah, no, you'll be fine. Leah's old friends with these guys. These are buddies. Totally be fine.
The player Michael is excited to interact with them. The character Leah is not. Are we sure we don't have enough time to build a decoy cabin?
Maybe next time. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see.
This scenario would be, have like 15 different labs all across the island, and then have like a whole bunch of different decoys to, travel to all the other. We don't exactly have the time or resources.
Not this time, but who knows? Maybe after things settle down, maybe after this little war, I'm sure we'll have some downtime to see what's up.
Little war.
Yeah, it's a little war. Just gotta take care of first. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Little war. As a treat.
Yeah. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Been fun, everybody.
Yes.
This is it, guys. So that's where we
Thank you.
start. You guys had fun?
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much for hosting.
No problem. So everything's
Yeah.
good. see you guys on Wednesday, hopefully. So all pans out.
Wednesday.
Woohoo!
Have a nice one, guys.
Sleep
See you
well,
guys.
everybody.